Hey guys, this is Dreadbane, joined by Sapphire. Now this is game 3 now of the New Zealand Cup. Now our players are Stroggos, the red Protoss, and his opponent AlwaysYou, the green Zerg. Now we are back to Lost Temple for game 3, so Seth should be a really good one.
Yeah, once again, somebody has paid off the Blizzard random spawn generator because once again they are right next to each other. These positions are very close as opposed to being cross positional. They are right buttressed up against one another, and they're going to have once again this contentious expansion in between both of them. We've seen this in both the first two games of this grand final series of the New Zealand Cup, and once again Stroggos is throwing down this forward pylon. Probably going to go down the 2-gateway route and then forcing AlwaysYou to go defensive, get the spine crawler down, and then once Stroggos sees that, he retreats his zealots and throws down the forward fast expand. So I'm really curious to see what AlwaysYou is going to throw at Stroggos because he's had this done to him 2 games in a row now and it's worked. So AlwaysYou, and especially because of these positions, these spawning positions have allowed Stroggos to do it, and third time in a row, unlucky for AlwaysYou, this has happened again. So he's going to have to come up with an answer for this build from Stroggos, because this opening has just thrown him, and Stroggos just opens so strongly and then just plays solid and wins it that way. So I feel AlwaysYou is going to have to mix it up so he doesn't enter this game behind like he has in the first 2.
You know, AlwaysYou's not happy about this. He's just, what has he got to do to get something that isn't this exact matchup once again? He's now watching this second gateway. He knows it's there. He didn't even really need to be there. It was going to come all the time. So these 2 gateways are now going to be warping in with Zealots soon in tow, and it's just going to be a repeat of the first couple matches we watched. I was kind of hoping to see something crazy from AlwaysYou. I mean, I guess he really didn't know, but I mean, I would have loved to see something crazy like a 6-ball or something, just something to really throw this off, because it's just going to go according to schedule again for Stroggos, as it looks right now.
Yeah, saving up a bit of money again for AlwaysYou. He might be thinking to go open with this expansion as opposed to 1 base roach. I think that if he just opened with 1 base roach, he might have taken the last game. But looking like he is piling that money, but no, making a liar of me, he is going 1 base roach. So a little bit of a mistake there. He was pulling a lot of money up at once, which he shouldn't been going, throwing that spine crawler down. This is the same opening from AlwaysYou. Not even mining from his gas while he gets this defensive position. I mean, and to an extent you can understand it because this really forward aggressive attack style that Stroggos is opening with because of these positions, he is forcing the Zerg player to defend. Even though Stroggos does not overcommit to the attack, he only just goes in and tries to disrupt the operations basically of the Zerg player. So once again, Stroggos is picking off a bunch of stray drones, getting those 2 Zerglings and drone kill, and the nice use of the probe there by Stroggos, bringing in these Zealots, but we're seeing these Roaches being spawned out. So this is deja vu right here, as we're seeing the same opening from both players, and the positioning has just enabled it to do it. But here we see these Zealots, and I would be surprised if we see more. No, we do not. We do not see any more Zealots. We see that fast expansion coming down for Stroggos. So this is business as usual. This is once again playing to the script of Stroggos. Now, from AlwaysYou's point of view, after he holds this initial attack, and he will hold this because these Zealots are basically just overstaying their welcome. They will be evicted very shortly. But once they're sent home, Stroggos goes into defensive mode, and there's this window that opens up while he gets his forge wall in. Whereas I think that AlwaysYou in the previous games should have just thrown down and stuck with his 1 base play and not tried to play himself into this expansion war and trying to drone up to get the macro lead. So right now we are seeing Stroggos dancing back and forth, not falling back to his wall in, and I'm curious to find out whether AlwaysYou, who does have the mineral saved, if he's once again going to expand and try and out-drone Stroggos, and it looks like there's that hatchery.
Yeah, it's same old. In cannon going up, just as I say that, so we're in for another one, Seth. We're going to have to sit tight while these 2 really kind of do their little mind games while they make this second expansion, or this first expansion, mind you. So we'll have to see if maybe one of them branch out after this initial push. Maybe with some mute or something, hopefully for our sake, we'll see something new in this game. But, I mean, as far as Stroggos is concerned, it's worked for him twice now, so why would he change it if AlwaysYou has nothing to really... He's got no answer to it, so I don't see really a problem from his end.
Yeah,
but
and this is the best of fight. Wow, the big mistake there for Stroggos, getting his Zealots pushing out to that Zel Naga tower. We saw them do that with impunity in the first Lost Temple game, but finally AlwaysYou is getting with the program and punishing him for it. He's going for this Forge Fast expand. He has to keep his Zealots in there to keep that door closed, and part of that is he surrenders map control, and AlwaysYou really needs to abuse that. He really needs to keep Stroggos in his base, do not let him out, force him to make units if he wants out of his base, and there's only one cannon sitting there. If he went heavier Roach, he would be able to get inside Stroggos' base, because once again we're seeing this window where Stroggos has got 2 gateways and he does not produce any more units. He waits for that warp gate research to be finished, which has not yet been queued, and there's no more units coming out, no stalkers, no nothing. So there's this window that I feel in all 2 of the opening games that AlwaysYou could abuse, but he isn't. He's just defending and getting his expansion online, mating his probes to his expansion to try and get that economic advantage. So it's an interesting point, because if Stroggos, and I don't blame him for doing it 3 times in a row, because if he wins this, he wins the championship. So he is the New Zealand Cup champion if he wins this game. So from Stroggos' point of view, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But it's kind of reminiscent of Flash vs Jaedong, where Flash just went 14cc over and over and over again, and then Jaedong had no answer of it. I'm not saying these players are on the same level as those guys, but it's just making me think of that. And once again, we are seeing Stroggos pushing out to the Zelnaga, and I feel that AlwaysYou is being too cautious here and falling back, and he really could have gone to town on these Zealots, but now we are seeing the Zealots pushing forward, and I do not agree with this from Stroggos. Finally, Stroggos realizes the error of his ways and sends his Zealots home, so that's a little bit of shaky play there by Stroggos.
He is trying something new now, though. He does have this 2 Stargates building 2 Void Rays, so there is at least a change of units for Stroggos, even if his basic plan is still the same to get this early expansion. So, really, AlwaysYou thinking along the same lines. He's got Aspire very early. They'll be finishing any second now, so we'll probably see a bunch of these mutas hit the field. So we have some aerial combat to see this time around, as really there's only these 4 Zealots for the meantime, and that looks like all we're going to see for the while.
Yeah, and sorry for the camera interruption there, guys. The camera just went stationary because I had to let my cat out who was screaming at my face. So now we are seeing, once again, AlwaysYou with this nice positioning of this Overlord, and this is not used anywhere near enough, because this cliff here at the back of your base in Lost Temple is the perfect hiding spot for that Overlord, and here's that Void Ray going on the hunt. So not sure if AlwaysYou's going to be prepared for this, because this is a different opening, but he does scout this, so he's going to see